Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Ever wonder how our brains manage all those feelings, happy, sad, tired? Well, it's like this whole symphony of brain chemicals going on, and one of the big players is serotonin. Today we're going to deep dive into what is serotonin and how it affects your mood.
Yeah, serotonin's super fascinating. And you might be surprised to hear this, but 90% of it's actually in your gut, not your brain.
Wait, really? The gut? I always thought it was all about the brain.
It is pretty wild, right? It shows how connected our gut and our mental state really are. We'll get into that later. But first, maybe we should clarify, what is serotonin?
That's a good point.
It's a neurotransmitter. Basically, think of it as a messenger. Helps those brain cells chat with each other.
So even though most of it's in our stomach, it's that little bit in the brain that's messing with our moods and all that.
Exactly. Think of it like a small team of air traffic controllers, but they're directing a whole airport. A little serotonin goes a long way to get our thoughts and feelings, and even bodily functions organized.
Okay, makes sense. But what if we don't have enough of this stuff? What happens then?
Well, that's when things can start to feel a bit off. Low serotonin's been linked to all sorts of things from persistent sadness, no motivation, the classic depression symptoms.
Yeah.
But also things like excessive worry, feeling on edge, even panic attacks sometimes.
And I bet sleep problems are in there too, right?
Yeah.
If serotonin's helping our brain cells talk, it's got to be involved in how we, wind down at night.
You're totally right. Serotonin's actually a precursor to melatonin. That's the hormone that controls our sleep-wake cycle. So low serotonin throws the whole thing off, trouble falling asleep, waking up in the night, not feeling rested, even after a full 8 hours. You know it.
Wow. One little brain chemical. So many effects.
Yeah.
But here's the good news, right? We're not just stuck with whatever our brain decides to do.
Exactly.
Our source material says we can actually influence our serotonin levels.
Yeah.
Naturally. That's pretty cool, huh?
Absolutely. It's all about understanding how to help our bodies produce and use serotonin well. Not about quick fixes, but making smart choices to, nourish ourselves.
So let's talk about those choices. The article mentions diet, especially foods rich in tryptophan. Break it down for us. Why is tryptophan so important?
Well, think of tryptophan as the VIP guest at the serotonin factory, right? It's this amino acid, essential, and it's the building block for making serotonin.
Okay, so we need to get more of this tryptophan. Where do we find it?
Lots of yummy stuff, actually. Turkey, eggs, nuts, salmon, tofu, soy products, the list goes on.
I love how you put that, the VIP guest. But get this, the article says if you combine those tryptophan foods with complex carbs, it actually boosts serotonin production even more.
It's true. It's like those carbs give the tryptophan a special escort into the brain where it can work its magic.
Uh-huh. So pair your turkey with some sweet potato or brown rice, maybe?
Exactly. Smart move for a serotonin boost.
Okay, diet sorted. What else can we do? I feel like things that generally make us feel good might be a theme here.
You're on to something. Exercise is another awesome way to get that serotonin flowing. And it doesn't have to be crazy intense. Even moderate stuff like a brisk walk, a swim, some yoga makes a difference.
Love that. Finding activities you enjoy, fitting them into your day, makes sense.
Good.
And speaking of feeling good, sunshine. Gotta ask, I always get a mood lift when I'm out in the sun.
There's actually a reason for that. Sunlight directly impacts how much serotonin we make.
No way.
It's true. They even use light therapy to treat seasonal affective disorder, that kind of depression that hits in winter. So, yeah, sunlight matters.
So even if you're not, down in the dumps, getting outside, even on a cloudy day, can help with those serotonin levels. It's like free therapy, right?
Haha, I love that analogy. Free therapy, for sure. And speaking of feeling good, gotta mention stress management, because chronic stress, that actually depletes serotonin over time, makes it even harder for our brains to regulate mood.
Right. Makes sense. When we're stressed all the time, our body's in that fight or flight mode. No time for serotonin production.
Exactly. So things like meditation, deep breathing, mindfulness, those can be super powerful. They calm down the nervous system, give the brain a break.
So diet, exercise, sunlight, stress management. That's a pretty good foundation for boosting serotonin naturally.
It really is. Those are the basics for sure.
Now, what about supplements? Can those help give us an extra edge?
That's a good question. Really important to talk to your doctor before starting any supplements, especially if you're on meds already. But there are some that show promise. We can dive into those in part 2.
Welcome back to our serotonin deep dive. In part 1, we uncovered how much this neurotransmitter does for our mood, our sleep, even digestion. It's kind of wild.
It really is. Tiny molecule, huge impact.
Totally. We talked about some good lifestyle stuff, diet, exercise, sunlight, managing stress, all to help boost serotonin naturally.
Yeah, it's about the whole picture, right? Supporting our brain and body in all these ways.
Right. Now, you mentioned some supplements that might help, but you were really clear about talking to a doctor first. Can we get into those now? I'm super curious.
Sure thing. But remember, this isn't medical advice, just a quick look at some supplements that have, shown some potential in studies. One that people talk about a lot is 5-HTP.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Isn't that like something our body makes naturally?
You got it. 5-HTP, it's actually a precursor to serotonin, so it directly helps your body make more. Some people find it helpful for mood, and there's research on its potential benefits for sleep, too.
Interesting. What about other stuff? Omega-3s. Those are supposed to be good for the brain, right?
Yeah.
Do they affect serotonin too?
Definitely. Omega-3s, you find them in fatty fish, or you can take fish oil supplements. They support overall brain cell health, which helps serotonin do its job, keeps those brain cells working well, so good for mood and thinking clearly.
Makes sense. Giving your brain what it needs to function, basically. Now, what about vitamin D? I know they call it the sunshine vitamin, so is there a connection to serotonin there?
There is. Vitamin D actually helps regulate serotonin, and it's especially important when it's, gloomy outside, in the winter.
That's why so many people feel down during those months, huh?
Exactly. If you think you might be low on vitamin D, talk to your doc about getting tested. Supplements can help.
Good advice. Now, I remember you mentioned St. John's wort earlier. That's an herbal thing, right?
Yep, St. John's wort. People use it for mood sometimes, but it's important to know it can interact with some medications. So definitely talk to your doctor before trying it.
Better safe than sorry, especially when you're mixing supplements and meds. Any other supplements we should know about?
One more comes to mind, magnesium. It helps with stress, promotes relaxation, and it actually supports all those neurotransmitters, including serotonin.
So magnesium is like a multitasker for mental well-being.
Yeah, you could say that. And the cool thing is you get magnesium from lots of foods, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, even dark chocolate.
Ooh, I'm sold on the dark chocolate part. Okay, so we've got a bunch of potential supplements here, all helping serotonin in different ways. It's pretty cool that we have so many options for supporting our mental health, right?
For sure. And it all starts with understanding what's going on in our bodies and brains.
Exactly. But before we jump into, practical tips, can we go back to those challenges we talked about, with low serotonin? Specifically, depression and anxiety. Those can be so tough to deal with.
You're right, they absolutely can. And it's important to remember, both depression and anxiety, they exist on a spectrum. It's not the same for everyone. Some people, it's mild. For others, it's much more severe.
And no matter what, there's no shame in getting help.
None at all. Reaching out is a sign of strength. Okay, so depression. Is it really just about not having enough serotonin? I feel like it's got to be more complicated than that.
Yeah, that's what I always thought too.
You're right. It's not that simple. Depression's complex. Lots of things contribute to it. Low serotonin can be part of it, for sure, but it's not the whole story.
So it's not just like an on-off switch.
Right.
It's more nuanced, I guess.
Exactly. There are other neurotransmitters involved, like dopamine and norepinephrine. Plus, there's genetics, your environment, things you've gone through in life. All these things play a part. But serotonin is definitely a key player.
Okay, I get it. So if we're thinking about what low serotonin feels like in the context of depression, how would you describe that?
Imagine this constant sadness, like a heavy weight on your shoulders every single day. And it's not just feeling a bit down, it's this deep, hopeless feeling, like despair.
Ugh, that sounds awful.
It really is. And with that sadness, you often have zero motivation, just complete exhaustion. Even little things, stuff you used to do easily, it feels impossible. Even getting out of bed can feel like climbing Mount Everest.
And you can't just, snap out of it.
Nope, not at all. It's not about willpower. It's a real condition, needs to be treated, whether that's lifestyle changes, therapy, sometimes medication.
That makes sense. So switching gears to anxiety, how does low serotonin fit into that picture? The worrying, feeling on edge, all that.
Well, when it comes to anxiety, low serotonin can show up as this excessive worry, always feeling on edge, can't relax, Like your mind's going a mile a minute, thoughts spiraling, and you can't catch your breath.
And sometimes that can even lead to panic attacks, right?
You got it. Panic attacks are like these sudden bursts of intense fear, very physical. Your heart's racing, you're sweating, dizzy, feels like something terrible's about to happen.
It sounds super scary.
They are. And while everyone gets anxious sometimes, for folks with low serotonin, those feelings can be constant, really get in the way of life.
So it's like their internal alarm system is just stuck on, going off all the time,
Yeah.
even when there's no real danger.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's really important to understand how much serotonin impacts these things. These are serious conditions.
For sure. Now, can we circle back to sleep for a sec?
Hmm?
We talked about how serotonin's a precursor to melatonin, that sleep hormone. Explain that a bit more.
Of course. It's like a chain reaction. We need serotonin to make melatonin, and melatonin's what tells our body when it's time to sleep. So if serotonin's low, it messes with that whole process.
So it's not just about feeling tired, it's about your body actually being able to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Right. And when that's messed up, you get all those sleep problems, trouble falling asleep, waking up a bunch during the night, not feeling rested even after sleeping for hours.
Ugh, we've all been there. No fun at all.
Definitely not. And when it's chronic, not sleeping enough, that messes with everything. Your mood, your thinking, your immune system, even your risk for some serious health problems.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You don't sleep, serotonin goes down, then it's even harder to sleep.
Exactly. It's all about balance. Got to make sleep a priority.
This has been so helpful. We've talked about the downsides of low serotonin, depression, anxiety, sleep issues, all that. And we've covered some supplements that might help. Now, I'm really interested in those practical tips, things we can actually do to boost serotonin naturally. Ready to get into that.
Let's do it. We'll cover all that in part 3 of our serotonin deep dive.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on this whole serotonin journey, and it's pretty amazing, right? It does way more than just, like, make us happy.
It really does.
Last time, we talked about those challenges with low serotonin and even some supplements that might help. But now I'm ready for the action plan. What can we actually do to boost this stuff naturally?
Love that. Taking charge. Well, we talked about diet before, but it's not just about eating those tryptophan-rich foods, right? There are other things we can tweak in our diet that make a big difference.
Ooh, tell me more. Always looking for ways to, eat for better mood and energy.
Okay, so one thing people often forget is blood sugar balance. If your blood sugar's all over the place, spiking and crashing, it messes with your mood, your energy, and even your serotonin production.
Makes sense. It's not just what you eat, but how often and the type of carbs you choose.
Exactly. So ditch those sugary snacks, processed foods, all that stuff that sends your blood sugar on a roller coaster. Focus on complex carbs.
Things like whole grains, fruits, veggies.
Yeah, they release energy slowly, keep everything stable, good for serotonin.
Makes total sense. And protein too, right? Got to get that tryptophan.
Absolutely. Every meal, every snack, make sure there's some protein in there, gives you those amino acids, including tryptophan, that your body needs to build serotonin.
So lean meats, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds. Got it.
Okay, so we're eating right.
Yeah.
What about exercise? Are some types better than others for this serotonin boost?
Well, honestly, any exercise is a good thing, right? For your body and your mind. But when it comes to serotonin specifically, aerobic exercise seems to be the winner.
So like running, swimming, biking, dancing, anything that gets your heart rate up.
You got it. And the best part is, you not only get that serotonin boost, but aerobic exercise also releases endorphins. Those feel-good chemicals. It's like double the mood boost.
Love that. 2-for-1 deal. And even just getting outside, moving your body in nature, that helps too, right? Absolutely. A walk in the park, yoga outside, even gardening, fresh air, sunshine, those are good for you on so many levels.
Speaking of sunshine, can't forget that. We talked about light therapy before, but even if you're not, struggling with SAD, getting in sunlight matters, right?
Huge difference for your serotonin levels, yeah. Helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle, plus directly impacts serotonin production.
Right. So get outside every day, even for a few minutes, soak up those rays. And if you live somewhere that's super gloomy half the year, maybe a light therapy lamp would help.
Yeah, definitely worth considering. It's like bringing the sunshine indoors.
Okay, so we've got diet, exercise, sunlight. Now, what about stress? We talked about how chronic stress just zaps your serotonin. What are some ways to deal with that, keep things balanced?
There are so many good stress management techniques out there. It's about finding what works for you. Mindfulness stuff like meditation, deep breathing, those are awesome for calming your nervous system, getting you out of that fight or flight mode.
Yeah, like hitting the pause button on stress.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of simple things. A warm bath, listening to music, spending time in nature.
Those are my go-tos, for sure. And sometimes it's about setting boundaries, saying no to things that just drain you.
So important. Prioritizing yourself, making time for things you enjoy, that's huge for managing stress. And when it comes to serotonin, all those positive emotions, those are key.
So it's not just about reducing the bad stuff, it's about increasing the good stuff.
Exactly. Do things that make you happy. Hang out with people you love. Get creative. Watch a funny movie. Whatever brings you joy. That does wonders for your serotonin levels.
It's like giving your brain a shot of happiness.
Aha! That's a great way to put it.
Oh, and one more thing, connection. Human connection is so powerful. Spending time with people who lift you up, that can really make a difference for your mood too.
This is great. So many things we can do. It feels really empowering. Like we're not just stuck. We can actually do things to support our mental health.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding how things work and then taking action. And remember, if you're really struggling, don't be afraid to get help. Talking to a professional, that's a sign of strength, not weakness.
Couldn't agree more. There's no shame in getting the support you need.
All right, so go out there, try these serotonin boosting tips. Eat good food, move your body, get some sunshine, manage that stress, and find things that make you happy. You deserve to feel good. And hey, if you're interested in supplements, check out Cenario. They have some really good ones, specifically for mental health. But as always, talk to your doctor first before starting anything new.
Great advice. It's all about making informed choices and finding what works for you.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of serotonin. Hopefully you learned a lot and feel inspired to take care of your amazing brain.
And we hope you feel empowered to take charge of your mental well-being.
That's what it's all about. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.